Welcome to this guide of how to play direct strike commanders. You start by choosing your commander. I will start with Artemis. The basic of the game is you build the units on your grid, and when this time hits 0, they will spawn here. You can see here. When they spawn, they will start moving towards the enemy's center, attacking any enemy unit or building on the way. You can see you can't move your unit. It moves by itself and attacks by itself. Another important thing is Munroe Income. Everyone starts with 7.5 minerals per second, and there is some ways to increase it. As you can see here, I have a +1 already. That's because I got mid. To get mid, you just need one of your units to cross the middle line while there is no enemy unit on your side. For the enemy, it's the same thing. So, one of the best ways to get more minerals is to dominate in mid. The other way is to build refineries, but there is a downside to it. It takes time for them to pay for themselves. In this case, the first one takes 5 minutes to pay for itself. As you can see here, only when the red line disappears, it will have paid for itself and will start really giving you minerals. The second one takes 7.5 minutes and the third one takes 10 minutes. The fourth one 12.5 minutes. For my recommendation, I would start the game with 1 and build the second when a bunker is destroyed. That's the basic of it. Games usually don't last long enough for the third and fourth to pay for itself. Now let's go for buildings. Every commander usually has some buildings. You can place them on this blue place here. You usually get them in front of your bunker, because when a bunker is destroyed, the opposing team that destroyed the bunker gets 125 minerals. So if I was to destroy the enemy bunker, I would get 125 minerals, and so would my allies. Another thing is there is tiers. As you can see here, I can only build those 2 units, and the others are grayed out. I can't build them because they require tier 2 or tier 3. You can upgrade tier here. For tier 2, 250 minerals and 45 seconds to upgrade. For tier 3, 450 minerals and 35 seconds to upgrade. You can queue it then here. It's the same price for every commander, at least for this. So let's go for the units. You can see here it has life. In this case, because it's Protoss, it has shield too. Shield is almost the same as life, but it's more vulnerable to some abilities. There is abilities that specifically target shields. There is armor. Armor works, it's pretty simple. If you take 10 damage, you have 1 armor, you take 9 damage. Pretty straightforward. The shield also have a separate armor from the life, in the case of Protoss. And there is the attack. As you can see here, 16 damage. Range melee, it only damage if it is in contact with the enemy, and weapon speed 0.86. It's important to note that it's not attacks per second, it's weapon speed. So it will attack, 0.86 seconds later it will attack again. And it targets only grounds. I got my upgrades, so let me build some more units to help me explain things. This should do. Units have types. I can see here, light and armored. Those 2 are mutually exclusive. You never find a light armored unit. There is mechanical and biological, also mutually exclusive. And air, it don't show, but you can see just by looking at the units, air and ground. also mutually exclusive, obviously. And there is other kinds like psionic, massive, and heroic. Artanis has no heroic unit, so I can't show it. Why it's important to know the kinds of the units? Because some damages do a lot more versus some kinds. Like this one, 50 damage versus armored, 20 versus the others. 12 damage versus light, 7 versus the others. 35 versus biological, 25 versus the others. So having a type can make a lot of difference in the damage taken. Another important thing, some attacks don't target everything. As you can see here, it has a range of 6, but it only targets ground. This one has a range of 3, but it targets air and ground. This one only targets air. Melee units obviously only target ground. Other types are important are abilities. As you can see here, Graviton Beam, it only can't target massive units. That's why massive is important too. Heroic also has importance for the same thing, it makes you less vulnerable to some abilities and things like that. Now let's show another things of the units. You can move them. It's useful for repositioning. You can see here, I destroyed the enemy bunker. That's 125 minerals. It's useful for changing position of the units to better counter your enemy wave. You can also change position of buildings. And you can sell your units. 70% back when you sell a tier 1 unit, 60% for a tier 2, and 50% for a tier 3. And you get all back if you sell before the wave is sent. But if you wait enough, it will get the same. As you can see here, it already sent this one, 60. I didn't send this one, 100. So if you build by mistake something, you can sell it fast and get everything back. But if you are not fast enough and you send the unit, it turns to be lot less efficient to sell it back. I don't recommend you selling units and losing minerals with it. And now let's go for upgrades. As you can see here, there is damage upgrades, armor upgrades, damage and armor for air units, it's separated, and for shields, that's all together. In this case, it's for Protoss. Other commanders have other kinds of upgrades. You see here, upgraded damage. It was 35 and 25, now it's 39, 28. There is also abilities specific for units. Those abilities in some cases are very important and in some cases not that much. But that would need a commander guide, not a basic guide. Another thing is you can control your abilities. Here everything starts enabled. If you don't want units to use their abilities, you can disable it or enable it back. And with that I finished the basic guide for Direct Strike commanders. I would like you to leave a like, subscribe, it really helps the channel to grow, and as always I will see you next time.